This is Astrology, Ancient Science in the Modern World. I'm Rollin, your host, living in Kona. Let's see, this is where the data comes from. This is called ephemeris. Here's October. Here's a position, the longitudes of the planets. I'm back here in October on Sunday, the 23rd of October. But I have to bear in mind that I'm doing a show ahead, and you guys are probably sitting here on November 17th or 18th. Yeah. Now it happens when I look at where you're at that we embark upon the great Neptune thing. Because here's old Neptune. There's the glyph. It's like a pitchfork, huh? It's a trident the god of the ocean uses. Or is it? I call it the cross of earth, cross of matter piercing the people with faces, animals with faces. Anyway, Neptune stops here, see? And the little D says, I'm going to go stand up and make a fuss because I'm going direct. Right there. Now you guys are watching this show just a day or two before. This goes direct on the weekend. And the moon opposes it your next Monday night. But basically, when Neptune slows down and stops, it isn't just outer world stuff. We do most of that here. But on your inner world, it has definite effects. One of them is, it's a little like being stoned. It's kind of psychedelic. And so I see colors brighter. You will. You're going to see colors brighter the closer you are to this Saturday the 19th. And Sunday, and not only that, but your sense of smell, your senses get more sensitive. So colors, it's a remarkable thing. Within a day or so, usually of the Neptune station, it fades off kind of fast. Same with your ability to smell. You'll notice you're smelling more and more things in the last few days of your work week. You're just finishing up. And now for the next few days, it's going to get stronger and stronger. You're going to smell all kind of things. Your psychic senses are going to go up. You could dream more. Good time for religion, art, music, spirit, things that you can't see. Neptune things under the surface, huh? And they come, it's a water sign. It comes from emotion. So you watch, you're going to see colors better, hear music better. Smells are better. It's a double-edged sword, of course. You could have some wonderful new smells come up to you this weekend you're about to experience. Or you could, have a wonderful smell, turn the corner, step in the dog shit. It has two sides to this Neptune thing. Wonderful dreams. I had, but, the Tyrannosaurus showed up in the middle of my dream and chased me all over. So there's two sides to it. It's very strange. It has to do with movies. It's imagination, huh? I love Neptune. It's a delightful thing. Of course, you've been told by the corporations here that alcohol is a proper way to enhance your Neptune. Even the church gives you a little wine. No, that's not the way to do it. There's natural ways. Look at this. Here's real Neptune. The vibrant colors of the flowers. Neptune colors also occur in birds' feathers. And in the fish. The little reef fish are super colorful, just like the little birds. But the reef fish chemistry colors, they fade right away but the feathers, they go on and on and on. I'm reading Captain Cook, and red feathers were like money all over the Pacific. South, north. You could take it to a Hawaiian and money, red feathers. They endured those colors. These don't endure. These are like the fishies, huh? When the flower dies, the color goes away. That sure is neat at first. This is bee feed. It's a flower mix. Environmental organization sent it to me. I'm going to plant it. And sooner or later I'll have these beautiful things. Neptune, huh? That's Neptune. Try to take the deception off it. So Here you are. So what I do, my job, is I take this line of numbers here and I translate it for you into the sky mirror so that you may get some meaning from the whole thing. After all, nobody looks up in the sky anymore. This is program 1042. We're going to cover that last week in November in the sky mirror and go by it day by day. But I was thinking about old Neptune here, and in the last two shows we've been kind of setting up for problems. And I got a lot of notes here all around this chart about Neptune. The first is he usually produces scandal. I couldn't even spell it right. Ha ha ha. He's tricky, this Neptune. Stations exactly on Saturday at 6:40 p.m. That'll be the peak of your psychedelic, your natural psychedelic trip. Don't drink alcohol, you'll just dull it. You know, you want to go out and look at the flowers, colors, and etc. So this is a big deal when Neptune stops. Of course, this time Neptune is stopping on the south node. It's pretty worrisome. I don't know what the effect is going to be exactly. I'm a little lost with it. So I'm not liking it too much. I know that when you start your week, Mercury is squaring it, and there's a lot of word and communication confusion. But basically, Neptune could, I wouldn't trust Neptune at all. Namely chemicals, oil companies, religion, art, music. So Neptune here, he could do all kind of shifty things. And in the U.S. chart, it looks lousy. Cycles in on New York. It's going to be a scandal that the world is going to know about. And no, this probably, they've already gone over the whole business of the election fraud. It's going to be more than that. And there's a timing to this. Okay? And, oh heck, I'm into it. I might as well fly with it. The basic timing of Neptune acting up now is that you're in a month now of a 9 Scorpio new moon, which trined old Neptune and basically covers the month of November. And you're saying, oh yeah, Christmas lights, Neptune's great, Monsanto's okay. And the bad smells don't bug you much. You'll accept a lot of Neptune during November. And even when he's going through these things, these bad smells turn up in our country's chart. But then there's another new moon at 8 degrees of Sag on November 29th. That squares Neptune, and suddenly all the colors wilt, and they're not the right ones, and they're chemicals, and the fish turn bad and starts to smell, and the scandal comes out, and the flooding begins, and maybe it's already been there, but you just noticed it. I don't know. But I know that the whole month of December, we ain't liking Neptune at all. So there's a start on the basic schedule of this matter. Well, that being said, let's get at the sky mirror. Let's cover that last week in November day by day and see what pops up. We're going to run the moon around the edge of this planetary pattern, and as it makes angles to the various planets, the spirits, the bodies, the entities, your mood changes, the scene around you changes. And let's take a look at the details of it. That's where the fun comes in. Long ago, I used to do charts for crater festivals, and you could watch 10,000 people move around. And boy, they were always right on time. If you're on a Thursday morning here, you didn't get no rest, but you had nice smells from Neptune. And then it got real jittery and panicky in the middle of Thursday when the moon opposed Pluto and squared Jupiter. Doing too much. Eek, sirens. And then there's interruptions that go into Friday morning about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Here's the electricity went out. There's Uranus is acting up, and we're not happy with him Friday morning and feel a little alone. So you might have trouble sleeping Thursday night and into Friday morning. After lunch, there's a nice trine to the sun. The moon's in Cancer, trines the sun in Scorpio, and in the middle of Friday in the afternoon, you get a good plan together. Good for you. You're off and running. The moon shifts in to Leo. That's Donald Trump's sign. The moon shifts into Leo Friday before dinner, and the vibes start to change, and they get kind of angry Saturday morning. Here's the moon opposing Mars. We've had enough football and young people and people getting angry and And boo to that, you know. Do you know that Trump has Mars on the rising sign? He's a Martian. Here's Mars in Leo. So everybody feels a little like that. The lion roars. Anyway, the roaring goes on Saturday morning. It might wake you up. You know, look out. Mellows out Saturday afternoon. Here's a nice trine to Mercury. Kids are happy. We're all talking. We got a nice plan. Here's a trine to Saturn. The plan's coming through. We're organized Saturday night late, 10, 11 o'clock. We got our act together. Nice, middle of Leo. On the morning of Sunday, the 20th, there's a trine to Uranus. The electricals work. The brotherhood pops up. The higher mind, common sense. Not the enlightenment of Neptune with all the colors and things, but you know it's interesting because you know Neptune just stationed here Saturday night, see, and so you got kind of organized, and hope you went to bed early and had a beautiful dream, and you woke up in the morning feeling independent and kind of enlightened in a common sense way. Sunday, the 20th. So this is quite a time now. Don't get too complacent just because you enjoyed going to church or planting the flowers. Because here, late Sunday night, this is, you know, like 10, 11 o'clock, midnight, there's a square to the sun, and our plans aren't going through like we thought. And as you go into the 21st of November, you're in the danger zone from Neptune. The moon shift into Virgo, late Sunday night, you're going to feel it. Problems with liquids, confusion, delusion. You know, people pretend, actors, every place you look is actors. There's clowns on one side and jokers on the other. They're all wearing too much color, too animated. But this is, maybe the dam broke. Maybe there's a, you know, big chemical scare of some kind. But, you know, Neptune just stopped here Saturday, and this is just Monday, and the moon's opposing it, which means we're not liking this at all. Even if we're in a good month when a new moon trine, at this point here is a danger point. So, you know, if you're using liquids or fuels or hydrocarbons or drugs or any of that stuff, look out, you could be in trouble here on Monday the 21st. And it'll continue through Tuesday. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, there's Mercury. We can't communicate Tuesday morning. And Saturn squaring. Goodness, that's tough. You may have trouble getting off to work Tuesday morning because communication transportation is delayed. It kind of continues through Tuesday. Not much to say. Then the moon shifts into Libra right here. And all the vibes change. And there's a nice sextile to the sun. Wednesday afternoon. We got a plan. We're going to get stuff done. The heroes are out. Father's out doing shit and leading the way. And here comes Mars Thursday morning. The young men are out doing the work, getting it done. Good for you guys. Moon in the early part of Libra. And then it hits the middle of Libra at 15 degrees. And it hits Jupiter. And it overexpands. Too much. And it squares Pluto. There's a crisis. So we got eek a bug. Sudden crisis and overdoing it here in the middle of Thursday. Now, Saturn comes in around dinner time a little late, just a few hours after you feel a crisis. You know, you get organized and it mellows out, and it wasn't what you thought at all, was it? Thursday night. Friday on the 25th, the moon's still in Libra, and it opposes Uranus, and you don't like the electrical things and the power and the TV and all that blinking loud noise and stuff. You know, it's not happy Friday morning. Probably woke you up with a bunch of noise, horns honking, automatic robot cars. Late Friday night, the moon shifts into Scorpio. It's the whole different ball game. And here's the nice part of Neptune. It's on Saturday in the afternoon and evening. The moon in Scorpio trines Neptune. And we're still in the good month, you know. This could be the best of the color, art, music, stained glass windows. I visited every cathedral in Europe when I was young. You know, the color of those stained glass windows and the music, and wow, Neptune it can just float you, you know, in a wonderful way. Mayans knew it as smoke and mirrors. And there is great respect for Neptune. Just like Uranus, these are giant planets. You can't see them. You can't see the chemistry in the air unless your smell gets good. Can't see the electricity in the walls or your TV, but it's there. So these are unseen kind of characters. They don't get real in your life very often. Sometimes here comes the Tinker Tailor. Uranus fixes your car or your TV. And then here comes the Doctor Priest and gives you a pill. Neptune. So these are interesting characters, but you get the best of Neptune Saturday afternoon. You know, really the best of it. Go for it. You can't beat nature, you know, for really teaching you the intimate lessons. You get near the ocean or any kind of water, falling water. I found some websites, and there's just 10 hours of rainforest and bird song, and wow, that's Neptune. Late Saturday night, we're talking midnight, 12:30, 1 a.m., the moon squares Mars, and everybody got in a rush and got pissed off, and, you know, not good. There's a flash of it, a road rage here, and then there's a sextile to Pluto 2-3 hours later, and everybody gets control, or the police show up and put out the fire or something. So Saturday night, there's some fire, and then Sunday morning early, there's control over it. And then here comes Venus. Oh boy. So breakfast time, even on into lunch, there's the moon's making a nice sextile to Venus, and there's beauty and love and pretty girls, and that's kind of nice for Sunday, huh? But I wish I could tell you more about what this thing is. Wow, it's got me, you know, really wondering. And something else I should have told you was about Neptune, is that Mars comes along and hits Neptune. Yeah. And it's like a trigger. That happens on New Year's, which is really close to the last time the moon, you know, the moon at the end of November, there's going to be that 9 Sag new moon, and the bad fish and flooding and all this deception and scandal, and it goes on for a whole month, and the moon goes all the way around in a month and comes back to that place. And that's when Mars is there on it, and it isn't just bad smells. It turned out it was gasoline smell, and it goes on fire, and the religious fanatics all start to, you know, fight and go to war, and this could be the match that lights the fire that, you know, and the USA is going to be on the spot for it. It hits our chart big time. This Neptune's in the 10th house. And it's squaring the ruler of the 10th house. It's on the south node. And we could have real trouble here. And I don't really like the way any of the major candidates are moving. I'd go for Nader or Gore or Jill Stein or somebody. But what I see here is that day after the election, that moon hits Neptune. And the morning after the election, there's going to be a lot of confusion. But even then, we're going to not mind it so much. Oh, the fish is okay. You know, when you get to the 29th and that new moon, uh-oh. And that new moon at 7 Sag 43 opposes the U.S. government rising sign. That's like having your enemy stand up and oppose you. It sets off, you know, the big scandal. But, you know, it also sets off people saying, screw you, USA. I mean, Putin has already got upset with us and says we talk and we lie and we don't come back. And I saw some stuff on YouTube. You got to respect Putin. He's a straight talking guy. He says the USA talks with forked tongues. Of course, he doesn't know we're Gemini rising, and it's natural for us to be like that. Well, what got me is he went back to, you know, when the U.S. withdrew from the nuclear arms deal. It was 1972. Ronald Reagan, called him Ray Gun Ronnie. And he made a deal with Khrushchev. All the nukes out of the world, period. Everybody was so happy. And then Ronnie came back to Hollywood and got convinced, well, we can build a laser and knock those missiles out of the sky. And Khrushchev said, what the hell are you doing? That's not getting rid of nukes. What you're doing is defending against them. That's not what we agreed. And the whole deal went down, and we still got, you know, 10,000 nuclear warheads in the world, huh? But when I got to learn that Putin was on YouTube and started watching some of his stuff, I was pretty impressed. The man is quite sane, you know. And now I see, you know, Hillary demonizing Russia. Come on. I remember when the president of Iran came over to the U.S., and a very impressive guy, straight talker, nice and honest. He went to a university in Boston and gave some talks. Said, we just want to be your friends. Come on over and check us out. Our university, just like yours, we're free. People are happy. And he was trying to, because we were starting to demonize him. Didn't matter. The U.S. went on, demonized him anyway, and you're still in it. Along comes Russia and says, we'll be Iran's friend. They're straight talkers. So now you got China, who also said, we'll line up with Russia and Iran. The whole thing's kind of looking like, you know, wait till that new moon that I'm talking about here on November 29th opposes the U.S. rising sign. You got a month all the way through New Year's, and anybody who wants to take a shot at us is going to stand up and say, stuff it, kind of like Putin just did. So this is where, and all of this comes out of this Neptune thing. It's like maybe the USA gets drunk and says a lot of bad, dumb things and offends everybody. I don't know. I don't know what's so strange about it is it's Neptune, and he's always fooled me. I wish I was better at it. I'm reminded to read my own notes. November, Neptune is good. Oh yeah, the new moon trined it. You know, it's good. We want to take all the gas, natural gas out of the ground. Fracking is great. Come on. By December, you know, the same ideas about drugs and oil and religion and all that Neptune stuff that seems so good in November, it's going to turn into bad fish and stink and rot and make us all really embarrassed throughout the whole month of December. Okay, here's a note. This is serious stuff about Roundup, you know. The problem is that there's an additive in Roundup, IPEO. I talked about it before. That's really deadly. But what I found out was that when the French did their study, that Roundup, with its additive, and the additive alone, attacks umbilical cells, placental cells, and causes, you know, those cells to die, which essentially is miscarriages. Now, I'm a public health expert. I got a Master of Science degree. You know, I know a lot about what kind of data you can get. Like, you don't want to ask people what they ate yesterday even. They'll lie. But most of all, a woman doesn't go and register her miscarriage. So you don't know how many miscarriages there are going on around the areas where they spray Roundup. Yeah, but guys like me found that in the Argentina soy fields, where there's these huge fields all Roundup, and around the edges of small farmers and people who work there, and their farmyard animals had miscarriages, okay? So you can report your cow and your horse and your goats having miscarriages, and you know, they do that, and so people know, which is different than the human thing. And you know, here's the French. They did it all in the science lab and predicted it with these attacking these particular cells. It's no good for lung cells either. It's bugging me. Magnesium deficiencies. But the kicker is, you know, miscarriages aren't reported. And then you don't even know how many suicides are going on your island, do you? It's not reported. Nobody's watching the store. Nope. Nobody's counting. Once again, the EPA, the health department, the idiots who gave all the licenses to Roundup and won't listen to anything that says, hey, wait a minute, this is questionable. After the line of pesticides and herbicides we've had in this country that have all gone bad, starting with DDT and going through Heptachlor and Mirex and what do they call in Honolulu, their legacy pollutants. It's aldrin and deldrin in the water all over Oahu. How'd it get there? Well, they built these crap houses with crap wood that wasn't kiln dried. Termites love to eat it, so what they did is they put, pesticide all around the house. The two they used the most that stayed there a long time endured were aldrin and deldrin, chlorinated pesticides. So what happened? The pesticides got down in the creek and went down to the river and in the pond. And you can't eat anything in the freshwater ponds, streams on that island anymore. You're going to get aldrin and deldrin. Legacy, the guy at the health department laughed a little when he took, ha, a legacy pollutant. Oh boy, that's Neptune. Couple of quick things. Somebody in Maui told me a news article is attacking homeless cats and saying they carry toxic plasmosis and it killed the raven, and it's killing the turtles. And these are really lies, folks. Homeless cats bury their stuff that doesn't get around, and all the animals carry toxic plasmosis. About half of the people carry it in their gut. So this is vicious bunch of lies by somebody who, I don't understand. I don't understand at all what they hate cats. Maybe they love rats. Yeah, Gemini Nation. We play word games. You take heaven, you take sky in the Bible, turn it into heaven, the whole thing changes. Well, my latest thing, I've told you again and again, there's an outlaw against, you can't use the word astrology. Nope, can't use that word. It's astronomy and mathematics, the Mayans. Well, another one that popped up was the sun cult. Whenever they talk about the sun, when the people built pyramids and they did all this stuff and it was because of the sun, they add the word cult. Look, folks, they were right. The sun is the father in the sky. You are the cult. You in the age of Pisces, this whole thing has been a cult. Yeah, not the sun worshipping cult. They don't, it's you guys. It's what people worshipping Jesus is a man, or Muhammad, he's a man. They just lost it. So, there's no sun cults in ancient times. 3,000 to 30,000 years ago, it was the sun. They knew who the father was. Meditate in nature. Listen to the sound. Look at the colors. That's what it's really about. Use the Neptune time to raise your higher heart. RollinFrost@yahoo.com. Email me.